Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. We're going to be working on a spring card, and I'm going to work on it using a helpful tip. I know a lot of us have these kind of stamps in our our inventory, where they call them like double stamping, so you can get the outline or the solid image, and then you have an outline which gives the picture dimension with you just stamping. So I wanted to show a friend of mine. I was trying to explain to her how to use the Stampin-Majig, and I realized, why don't I just do a video? She's not here near me, she'll be able to see it. So that's what we're going to do today. So I just inked up the stem of the flower, and I'm using the My Favorite Things hybrid inks. And after we stamp here, we're just going to pull straight up. I just wanted to make sure that I had good coverage and that it was definitely, you know, that the ink got into the paper well, which it did. And I'm just double checking that I left enough room for the ribbon that we're going to do at the end. So the Stampin-Majig, you have the green piece, and then you have this plastic piece that comes with it. If you ever get one and you lose it, you could always use acetate, something like that, you know, whatever works for you. So how it works is, let me get this sheet out the way. You line up your plastic piece right into the corner of your green piece. You line up your stamp, and then you stamp down, and you'll get an image on the clear square, obviously. I'm going to get a piece of paper and put underneath so you can kind of see the mark. So I have a mark on there, right? You can see the stamp image. So then I line up where I want it with this image, and when I ink, once I have it in the correct spot, I just move the plastic away, ink up my stamp, and then I stamp down. And where I lined it up with the plastic image will be where the stamp lands, because you've lined it up with that green piece on the left hand side. So once it's locked in, then I know as long as I line up my stamp block right into that corner, it's going to stamp exactly where I just had that piece of paper laying. Okay, so now this is where it's really going to make sense. Instead of cleaning it off right away, because I'm doing the video, what I'm going to do is put my detailed stamp on my block. I'm using this darker blue, and I'm just turning my plastic around so I can stamp on a clean spot. So once again, in the corner, stamp or ink up your stamp, and then straight down. Once you have that done, you can then line up with your image. And once you have it in place, you just line up your green tool, so that way when you move the plastic and you go to ink your stamp, you know it's going to ink in the correct spot to give you all of your detail. And there you have it. Look at that. All that detail, and all it took was 2 stamps. And you can do any color combination, you know. You could do it in blues, pinks, orange, reds, yellows. You could do a whole pack of stamps for someone as a gift and just change the color of the flower. Straight down and pull up. And there you have it. And 2 stamps that I was using, they're considered to be clear stamps because they're not mounted to wood block, but they're not the clear stamps that are the polymer stamps, so you can't see through them. And using the Stampin-Majig, it allows you to line up and place where you want it. Now here, I made a boo-boo. Beautiful card, love the flowers, and then what do? I stamp the sentiment upside down. Ugh, don't you hate when that happens? Well, don't worry. We have a solution. I created with a punch that I had gotten from, I want to say Stampin' Up! Or someplace like that. And I just created a a separate piece with the sentiment on it that we're gonna basically put on top. But first I want to do the ribbon, and so I just take off what I need, and then I'm just closing or taping down what's on my plastic sheet there where I'm storing it. And on this one, I decided I wanted to do a knot. You had seen me do this before with doing a bow, so I was just going to lay this down and then show you how I would do a knot instead. So on here, once I get it laid down, I'm going to cut off the excess. And then I'm going to take the remaining ribbon and just slide it through. And before I did it super tight, I would just make sure to kind of make the ribbon lay the way that you want it to, making sure that it's turned over. Now with this one, you're going to see I have to fight with it a little bit because it keeps wanting to turn over, which isn't a big deal, isn't it? You know, it's something that we can fix. So I'm going to show you how I fix it. So basically what I decided to do to make it stay in place, I decided to go get some glue dots, which is what I'm going to put underneath the knot and the bow part. So we're just going to put that down, and then because that piece gets flipping over, I'm going to put another glue dot on the back side, you know, the wrong side of the ribbon there, but close to where the knot is, so it'll lay down exactly the way that I want it, but still look like it's loose. Does that make sense? Okay. So then, what I figured what I would do before I add on my final piece is just go ahead and tape everything up and get everything put together, basically. And if you have trouble running your ATG over the ribbon that you have down, just put down some plain Scotch tape and it'll glide right over. But I don't ever have problems with it, so I'm putting it straight down. And then we're just finishing up on the mat. I like to use a lot of tape because if you're giving this to somebody, I think it's the worst thing to see it, you know, pulling up and separating. So I say use enough tape to make you feel comfortable that it won't fall apart. Okay, so once we have it all attached, I'm grabbing some dimensional foam to put on the back of the sentiment that I just created, so that way it'll cover but sit up a little bit, give a little dimension, and there you have it. And it's still a pretty card. So I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions or if you want me to use this Stampin' again, just leave comments down below and I'll be glad to look into that for you. It's an old tool, but it's a good tool. So I highly suggest that even though I have the Misty, I still keep that around. Thank you guys again. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you guys in our next video.